Epic. Engaging. Captivating. Yes, I'm describing the sounds of war. Okay, well, yeah, I guess it does also kind of sound like a horde of toddlers charging around. Okay, yeah, that's pretty loud, man. Those some loud footsteps. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and Battlefield 5's footsteps have been fixed, or they've been changed. It depends who you talk to, as some think it's a fix, and others think it's just a new problem. This is because footsteps used to be almost silent, at least for most players, and now they're anything but silent. You can hear people creeping up on you from a mile away. Someone's doing the running man across the map, you probably know about it. Another guy's put his slippers on and fancies a little wander around, you probably know about that too. It's damn near impossible not to know when someone is moving around the map now. So let's talk about it today. I'll go over how it's changed, what I think of it, and I want to know how you feel about the footsteps at this point. The backdrop for today's video will be a couple of games of Squad Conquest, which I'm actually really enjoying currently, so please be sure to let me know how you feel in the comments about Squad Conquest as well as footsteps, because I've seen differing things about this new mode. So are you enjoying it or not, and why? I went like 23-1 in one game and 13-0 in the other or something, I'm not sure, something like that. The games are a little shorter in Squad Conquest and there's only a few people on the map, so the scores tend to be a little bit lower, but regardless, I'm having a good time. And I'm just going to cut them up to fit the length of the video, as this isn't going to be that long a commentary anyway, and I know some of you guys have been asking for a better and more complete look at my gameplay, rather than just lots of clips showing one after another. So we'll mix it up and we'll give this a try now and again. You know, I want to try and give you guys what you want to see. This does mean there will be a bit more downtime in the gameplay though, of course, so be aware of that. And as I'm recording the audio first, if the footage simply isn't long enough, then I'll throw another game in afterwards or something like that. Hey there, GetGoodGuy from the future after when I recorded that. So still the past for you, but anyway, I only needed one game to fill the video. Using two just made it feel like one of my normal videos, so that was professional of me, right? You get to watch one game instead of two then, so it fits better. Okay, I'm gonna go now, bye. So the footsteps, as you heard at the start of the video, they're infinitely louder now. Whereas it was more than possible for multiple people to literally run up right behind you before, now it sounds like an elephant has got loose anytime the enemy even walk by. Personally, I'm happy with the changes, not because I think they're in the best place they can be, but because I think it's far better than the previous situation. With the footsteps being as quiet as they were before, and the ambient noise of the game seemingly covering all of the important audio cues, everything felt kind of random. You didn't know if anyone was around you, you didn't know if you were being flanked from a few meters away, you often didn't know if a tank was about to make you one with the floor. When this was paired with some of the visibility issues that I see people mentioning all the time, it just felt kind of, as I said before, random. The skill ceiling was lowered by external elements that none of us had any control over. There was just this overriding sense of uncertainty, and that doesn't often make for a particularly good or satisfying gameplay loop. And so it's been changed. Now after the patch, we're experiencing essentially the other end of the spectrum, an end that I much prefer to the previous scenario. You do now hear those sounds around you. You do now hear enemies trying to creep up on you. I mean, like this morning, I was sure I even heard Modest Pelican walking around his living room in Australia, and that's over 9,000 miles away. And I'm sure you're grasping the concept here. Although I like the louder footsteps, and it's something I very much championed as I found the silent ones to be terrible, they could well be tweaked for slightly better balance. And there are plenty of people out there who simply think they're too loud, to the point of distraction, displeasure, and I even saw someone say it made them feel nauseous. And I personally wouldn't mind them being toned down just a little. I can cope either way, but just a little turn down will be alright with me. But some of you may be wondering how it can be too loud. Okay, yes, it might be annoying, but how can it be unhelpful? So I'll explain. It's about relevant feedback from the game. Is hearing an enemy flanking you from behind a wall to your right helpful? Yes, obviously. But is hearing your teammate walking at the other end of the objective, an enemy travelling up the stairs in a tower across an expanse from you, and several people running around at some unseen location? No, probably not. It's too much, because you don't know what's relevant and what isn't. It's sensory overload and can leave a player confused as to what to act upon. Where do you look? Where do you go? Do you simply simply hide and see which noises stop and which continue. It's not having too much of an effect upon me, as I've spent years sound whoring as a major part of how I play the game, and sound whoring is a commonly used term for listening for where the enemy are, etc. But I can totally understand how it would bother a lot of other people, and it is sometimes even a bit too much for me. So perhaps just toning the volume down a little and reining in the max distance you can hear movement from would be a good step. Make the immediate vicinity much more important and leave the distraction of distant noises out of the equation. Now this does at least put extra emphasis upon crouch walking and running, as I believe that does lower your footstep noise output. Previously I didn't honestly use the technique all too often, although I know some did, but I'm glad to have an extra reason to do so now. And it should also stop some people from just charging around everywhere, which is one of my big tips to improve at this game. Don't just full steam ahead all the time, and anyone that does that now will likely be suitably punished by anyone with working ears. Also, for those of you that have been asking, as I did just mention tips, yes, there will be more tips videos coming from me. I'll be sure to get back to that style of content at least a little bit in the nearish future. And I do just want to mention another side topic. I'm sure that dead bodies make noises in Battlefield 5, or at least downed enemies. Actually, this is totally off script. I'm gonna just put a clip up here of what I'm talking about. Listen for the movement noises. Did you hear what I was talking about? Maybe some of you didn't because I'm moving about in the clip at the same time, but I know that when I'm playing, those noises don't line up with what I'm doing. So perhaps it's lag on the noises, because I know that happens sometimes as well with gunshots, with reloads, etc. Maybe it now happens with footsteps, or maybe I'm hearing people further away, but I have definitely had it before. I've been near bodies and they've been making noises, so I don't really know. But I couldn't find any reason for that noise being present. I'm convinced that the bodies make noises as if they're moving around, and with footsteps and such like being so much louder now, it's distracting. I don't really care if someone is downed and waiting for a revive near me. I don't need to hear them wriggling all over the place as if there's someone walking around. So a change to that would be awesome. But to re-emphasize, overall I'm much happier with the footsteps being louder, and I could cope with it staying like this if I have to. That said, I'm sure there's a range of opinions out there, so let me hear yours. Louder footsteps, good or bad? Are they too loud either way? And what do you think of Squad Conquest? Jump into that comment section and share your thoughts. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like, subscribe, turn on notifications and join my Discord server in the description and my pinned comment. Here's the board of awesome for the epic people who support the channel on Patreon. They're all absolute heroes and I love them all deeply and often. And with that all said, I'm GetGoodGuy and I'll see you next time. Laters.